Thanks to all. Scottie, you're the first female, Trump surrogate to come out and speak since this happened. I don't know if you just heard the reporting a moment ago. Dana Bash was saying, a top GOP person who supported Donald Trump said, I don't know how any woman in America can vote for Donald Trump now. This is someone who supports him. What about you?
Well, those words are horrendous. They're dreadful. They're appalling. They're foul. But I will say this, the words of Donald Trump for 11 years ago are bad, but they're not near as bad as the actions of Hillary Clinton since she's been in office. There are 4 soldiers in Benghazi right now that are not with us right now because of Hillary Clinton's actions and could care less about Donald Trump's
Scottie, I understand what you're trying to do, and you're trying to do your job, right? You're trying to turn this to Hillary Clinton. But I do just have to ask you, has anything changed for you when you hear this about Donald Trump? You have come out here for over a year. You have defended him. Is it different this time?
Absolutely. No, well, no, the word I've always said, I don't agree with some of the language he used, but what this did to me, personally, it proved to me that Mr. Trump has not always wanted to run for office. His entire life has not been to get elected and say things to pander to people to get elected. He was not running for office at this time. He was a part of a world that produces movies and books and songs that use this type of language that I guarantee every single one of us has heard before tonight. And yet, and now he is running for president, but it just shows that he is only running for president for one reason only, because he has problems. He knows that this country has problems that he doesn't believe anybody else can fix. He wasn't a politician. He didn't want this office, but he knows that America's in so much trouble, he needs to help.
So, Scottie, I want to play for you part of this tape, a brief part, and I'll explain to you specifically why in just a moment, but let me just play something he said in this tape about Tic Tacs and kissing a woman. Here is Donald Trump.
I better use some Tic Tacs just in case I start kissing her. You know, I'm automatically attracted to beautiful. I just start kissing them. It's like a magnet. You just kiss. I don't even wait. And when you're a star, they let you do it. You can do anything.
So, Scottie, I know a woman who heard that line today. It stopped her in her tracks. I have known this woman for years. She told me that when she heard this, she could only think of one thing, and that is what Donald Trump did to her. And I want to quote what she told me. She said, the Tic Tacs. That's exactly what Trump did to me. Trump took Tic Tacs, suggested I take them also. He then leaned in, I'm reading this, catching me off guard, and kissed me almost on the lips. I was really freaked out. After, Trump asked me to come into his office alone. I figured I could handle myself. Anyway, once in his office, he kept telling me how special I am and gave me his cell phone and asked me to call him. I ran the hell out of there. That was in 2010. He was married at the time. This is the exact story that Trump said. This isn't Trump just saying something to make it up. This happened to someone I know.
Well, and I apologize, but honestly, that's something I don't even know that story. It's not been reported to. Mr. Trump has not said that, has not confirmed his campaign. I can't address to that issue. I don't think it's any surprise back to the audio tapes from 11 years ago that Mr. Trump has liked beautiful women. Like I said, he lived in that world. That was his world, celebrity. We see that all the time in movies. Doesn't excuse it, but if we're going to hold him accountable for the words he said 11 years ago, then we need to hold Hollywood celebrities accountable for their actions today and not allow them to be on the screen saying these same words.
I'm reporting that story right now. It's someone I know. It happened. The implication, this is just one person, of course, but when he told that story, is that he did this to a lot of people. The implication, this is just one person, of course, but when he told that story, is that he did this to a lot of people. He wasn't kidding when he said, I do. He gave her a Tic Tac. He tried to kiss her. This was in 2010. If these kinds of things start surfacing, does this change anything for you?
Well, did it change for Bill Clinton when he ran for office? I mean, he had 17 women that claimed rape, claimed sexual assault, claimed affairs with him, and that didn't change. In fact, if Hillary Clinton would have been honest at the time, as she was to her friend Linda Blair, and said he has problems in this area because he didn't have a dad in his life, and would have been honest, maybe we would not have had a 19-year-old in the Oval Office in a blue dress and a cigar. So if we're going to look at the background and start holding him accountable, but what we saw today was Mr. Trump apologized. He said this was wrong. He said he did not agree, that he would not do this. It shows that he has actually evolved.